Good afternoon. Thank you. Good afternoon. It's nice to have a little feedback. My name's Steve Wilson. I guess I'll start with myself. My wife and I moved into Coatesville, the community here, about 20 years ago. I've been living here for the last 20 years. Two of our children, now young adults, have graduated from Coatesville High School. I was an educator, a teacher that went into the nonprofit educational sector 20 years ago when my wife and I co-founded Bridge Academy and Community Center, which is an art and education center just about 2 blocks from here. After running that for about 7 years, moved on to start Hope Beyond Borders, which is a educational nonprofit that helps to incubate and launch more educational initiatives in communities, predominantly communities of color, communities that are low-income communities. One of the local programs under our umbrella is Coatesville Kids to College, which operates right over on Chestnut Street nearby here. I share this because I've seen hundreds of students, as we all have over the last 20 years that I've been here, that are living below the federal poverty level, a disproportionate number of students that are students of color. When provided equitable opportunities, flourish, academically, social, emotionally, and in all ways. But despite students, parents, Coatesville Area School District, and community organizations putting their best feet forward with all the resources that we have, there still exists holes in the educational net that hundreds of students each year continue to fall through or fall behind. And so here's my ask is for $28,000 in financial support and community partnerships to establish a Coatesville-based educational equity task force. The reason behind this is that when students are provided equitable and inclusive opportunities and environments in school and in our community, they flourish. And I just want to share one example. Anaya, who's up behind you, behind myself. Anaya is a participant at Coatesville Kids to College, the organization under our umbrella. When Anaya entered CKC's after-school program over on Chestnut Street in kindergarten, she was behind her peers in math and reading benchmarks. What Anaya did have was supportive family, community, and teachers in the school district. 4 days a week, she attended CKC's after-school program, worked hard, and was determined to make the most of the support that the staff and volunteers offered. After several years in the after-school program, here's what her mom said. "You can tell she has blossomed, her grades have improved, and now she's outspoken, interacts at school, and has friends. Anaya is now a 9th grade National Honor Society student." These are the outcomes that happen commonly over and over again when students are offered comprehensive in-school and out-of-school opportunities in environments that have diverse staff and leaders, that offer equitable policies and curriculum, and in inclusive spaces. But this is not yet happening to the degree that our students need it. So the challenge question that was posed was, how do we give Greater Coatesville students the support that they need to thrive? And when we speak of Greater Coatesville students, we must address the opportunity gap that results in achievement gaps among our students. So the ESSA dashboard for 2021, Coatesville Area School District district-wide assessments showed that 44% of white students in our district are scoring proficient or above. Compare that to 14% of our black students throughout the district are scoring proficient or above. 30% less black students in the Coatesville Area School District are scoring proficient or above today. So, the question of a solution is, what have other urban districts and communities done to improve academic achievements and graduation rates for students? Because we know that this does not identify black and brown students' ability to achieve, but rather the lack of opportunities for these students to thrive. And so one solution that's been proven is school-to-community partnerships that lead to stronger social emotional skill development, enhanced student engagement with higher attendance rates in school, improve academic outcomes, including higher testing and graduation rates. And secondly, is to engage in school and community-wide equity audits and assessment plans that result in strategic goals for districts and communities. To help to remove barriers that impede full participation, access an opportunity for all students to receive an equitable and excellent education, resulting in improved educational outcomes. So, solution of an equity task force will be made up of community organization representatives, Coatesville Area School District representatives, and a DEI consultant to conduct an educational equity audit to identify strengths and areas for growth, to establish a comprehensive equity plan, and to strengthen school and community partnerships. I'm going to move quickly because I'm trying to hold my time. So June and August task force interest meeting, approach Coatesville Area School District to initiate discussions, which, by the way, Coatesville does not have a DEI director or a comprehensive equity plan in place. September through November to begin monthly task force meetings to establish a plan for equity assessment, secure funding. January through June of next year, equity assessment and present findings to CASD and community. And then July, September into the following school year, initiate phase 1 of an equity plan. Expenses for the first year, around $28,000 for DEI consultant, administrative task force and communications, administrator, and advertising and marketing. So just end with the comment question: if research supports that when students like Anaya are provided equitable and inclusive environments, they will thrive. What if Coatesville were not only a model for diversity, but also a district and community rich in diversity and committed to equity and excellence? Thank you. Comments, questions?
Thanks, Steve. I would just like to commend you on your presentation and to thank you for using the word thrive, because it's so important that our young people not just attend school, but that they thrive and that they receive all the education that they should and they benefit from. The statistics that you give us today are really depressing when we hear the the difference between these students being proficient after they've completed their education. It really is depressing. It's so sad. So we need to do something, and certainly you've given us some food for thought. Have you had any communication with the Coatesville Area School District about a program such as this there?
So I've had conversations with a couple board members. I've had conversations with the last 2 superintendents who weren't really willing to push forward and address full equity assessments or consider budget changes for them. So I've not had a lot of success in that area, to answer your question, if I'm answering it how you were asking.
I applaud you for bringing that to light, actually, the lack of an equity audit within the public school system. Also, I'd like to say you had said you act as a net. Not all students are going to thrive in those academic environments in the public school system. So to try to come together with the public school system and a nonprofit coordinated approach, it's a great idea.
Hey, Steve, I want to say ditto. No, I like the fact that you're intentional about doing equity audits, which is so important to make the whole community aware of our areas where we need improvement. And in addition to that, I think you heard it a couple of times, partnerships, it makes a difference. So partnering with the Coatesville School District and other organizations, I think it will strengthen your effort. So thank you again.
Steve, great presentation. Thank you for bringing some difficult information to light. I want to point out what a great case study you brought up in the young lady. I think sometimes in these rooms we think about the big picture and the numbers of people who can be improved, have their situation improved, but that all of those stories are made up of individuals. So to have an individual call out just what a difference this type of program makes, that really is at the heart of it. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Steve, thank you, and Janice also, so much for being here today and focusing on education, because it's really so critical in the community if we really want to make a difference. So appreciate you guys being here and standing in front of all of us. I just wanted to say also, to echo what Gwen said, not only is it staggering the numbers that you shared as far as the difference between white and black students, but it's just staggering even where the white students are, and then the African American students so much less. So it's such an important thing. Encourage you to continue your communication with the school district, because I know they're trying to make their way there too, and we certainly want to support that. Just curious, you had some advertising money in your budget, how you're gonna get the word out so that people are aware of the task force and what you would be doing.
So to establish the task force, I imagine a number of nonprofits, community service providers represented to be involved in that, as well as people from the district. The money for the advertisement, maybe that wasn't worded right. It would be more to advertise the findings of the assessment, to make that community-wide and community known, the outcomes of the assessment.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yep.
Give another round for Steve.